My name is Tori Edwards, and you are tuning into Through Our Lenses. Here is where real people come together to share their intimate experiences from the soul. Today, we are discussing finding your purpose and reinventing yourself. For me and many others, COVID-19 has presented the space where we can slow down, reevaluate our purpose, and go after new opportunities. I am super excited about our guest today. For those of us from Houston, Texas, he is a living legend. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. James J. Mac Garrett from 97.9 The Box. All right, J. Mac. So for the people who aren't from Houston, Texas, can you tell everybody a little about yourself?
Okay, J. Mac, Freestyle King, on the radio, been on the radio for quite some time. Used to be on a show called The Mad Hatter Morning Show, now on a show called Good Morning Houston.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's dive in. I want to take it back to the beginning.
The very beginning.
The very beginning.
The very beginning when I got on radio.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, this is how it began. Had a girlfriend in Conroe.
Mm-hmm.
She was going to TSU. At the last minute, I decided, you know what? I'll go to TSU. She was a year older. They thought I wasn't going to get in. I called the president of TSU, wrote him a long letter, got in TSU. The first week, I meet the Mad Hatter.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a thing called the 4 Most Wanted. It's a countdown. He asked me if I wanted to be on it. I said, yeah. He said, if you really want to be in radio, give me a call tomorrow. Called him, Mr. Hatter every day. Then one day he said, come up there. It has given me a great career. I'm still at the radio station, still being a blessing to the listeners.
Being a blessing to listeners, okay.
Okay.
So you've now been doing this for quite some time. You're a little seasoned.
Yeah, quite some time.
Seasoned in the game.
She really wanted to say, oh, yeah, I'm old. I've been doing this.
You've been doing this for a minute. My question to you is, what's your recipe for staying relevant and constantly adapting to an ever-changing environment?
Well, you know what? I always say this. To stay relevant means to, well, here's the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Work harder than everybody. Work smarter than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Show up before everybody.
Okay.
Stay later than everybody. Every couple of years, reinvent yourself. Add something to your skill set that you haven't used before.
So what has J Mac done to reinvent himself?
Well, when I first got in the game, I was quiet. I never was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, I became more of a character.
Yeah.
Got books that are out. I got a website. I do it all.
I won't say you did. Okay. All right, I want to ask you about competition. Okay.
Okay.
So I grew up listening to 97.9 The Box.
Okay.
So the Mad Hatter Morning Show. You know, the Mad Hatter Morning Show honestly was everybody tuned into it. You tuned into it on the way to school, on the way to work. That was the show that you tuned into.
Right.
But for this newer generation in 2014, The Breakfast Club, which is another prominent morning show that is in New York.
Okay.
They started to air in Houston. So now people have options on who they're going to listen to in the morning. So my question to you is, how can we promote healthy competition amongst, the Black community, but in a way that stimulates both brands?
Well, you know what? When it comes to competition, I never worry about competition. I'm always thinking of how I can be better.
Yeah.
And how can I serve our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
So I never think about the other guy. Because if I know that I'm doing right by our listeners and I'm getting better all the time and I'm giving them the best info, the best rates, and as far as the commercials and stuff like that, then everything else will take care of itself.
That is very true. There is enough for everybody to eat at the table.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Good deal. Okay. All right. I want to ask you a little bit about J Mac.
Right.
J-Mac, the individual.
J-Mac, the individual. Is there any particular thing that you want to know?
Yes. Okay, so now that I'm getting a little more seasoned, I feel like in my quiet time, I constantly think about my legacy. Like, how do I make people feel when they interact with me? My question to you is, do you think about the same things? And if so, like, what is J-Mac doing to ensure that his legacy is a impactful and positive one?
Well, you know what? Having a mother and a father who was a teacher, you know, I always thought about my legacy. It started when I was going to high school with my mom, and she was a teacher, and she was like, James, don't mess up our last name.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, but don't mess up that last name. And so being a kid, that made me think of, what do I want my last name to be about? You know, I want my last name to be about value. You know, I want to shed more smiles than tears.
Yes.
To every face I meet, I try to leave a smile. I mean, if you remember J-Mac, I want you to remember, oh, he put a smile on my face. You know, and as far as leaving a good legacy, you know, me and my brother writing books, talking about our family, talking about my mom. I got a book that was inspired by me and the way I lead my life. It's called J-Mac is the Freestyle King, and it's a children's book. And in that book, you'll understand a young J-Mac and his thoughts and philosophies on life.
You know, I'll say this. You are a very charismatic individual. Funny story, guys. So, I met J-Mac probably 3 years ago at the gym.
Right. When you wasn't so seasoned.
When I wasn't so seasoned. Okay, so we used to go to the same gym, 1-to-1. Shout out to 1-to-1. But I was at the squat rack, right? And I hear this voice, and I'm like, man, that voice is so familiar, you know? And I'm looking around the gym trying to figure out who it is. And finally, you know, I'm like, oh man, that's the radio guy, you know, J-Mac. And afterwards, I got to know you. I introduced myself. And I will say, every time I saw you on Saturday mornings and I encountered you, I was always laughing and smiling. So I will say that you said that that's what you want your legacy to be. And for me, that's how you made me feel. Like, I was always smiling and laughing. So I feel like you're walking in what you wanted to do.
Yeah, you know, and that's just a little bit of...
It's not like a tad bit, but it's been very impactful. If I'm having a bad day, I will say walking in there laughing with you, it was fun.
Yeah, and that's just a little part. I just want, when you think of J-Mac and James Garrett, you know, what is my real name, I want you to think about, you know, he made me feel a certain way. He gave me good feelings every time I saw him. He made me feel like I could change the world. He gave me confidence. That's what I want my legacy and the Garrett name to stand for. Quality and leadership.
There you go. Well, you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I want to dive a little deeper.
Okay.
This is
deep.
This is the soul question. All right. So, a lot of people tend to associate their identities with their profession.
Right.
And so my question to you is, if there was no 97 on the box, okay, no 97 on the box, there are no more speaking engagements attached to the name J-Mac.
Right.
Who would James Garrett be?
James Garrett and J-Mac are really the same people. Now, a lot of radio personalities, they differ from who they really are. Me, when you listen to the radio, that's really me, for the most part.
That's not your alter, J-Mac's not your alter ego like Sasha Fierce and Beyonce?
No, I'm really that same person. The crazy guy, I'm really that guy. I'll still be the same person, a hard-working, caring person. I probably would be a teacher right now, affecting a kid's life, you know, helping him get to the next level. And after I do that, I probably go to the old folks' house or, you know, and talk to the old people and get their perspective on life. I think those are the two perspectives I love. I love the perspective of a young person because they say what they truly feel and truly believe. I love the perspective of an old person because they have lived life. And so the things you think you know, they already know, you know, and so I like that. So I would be that guy in between those two people.
You know, I never would have thought you would be a teacher, but I will say, like, when I look at your Instagram posts, you love being with kids.
I do.
Is it just been, do you have a lot of nieces and nephews or what?
I don't, but ever since I was a kid, I love kids because I just think that you can teach them so much. And you can learn a lot from kids too, you know.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to be kid-like, you know, not so stressed out all the time, you know.
Enjoying life.
Yeah, you got to enjoy life, and that's a hard thing for me to do. I mean, I enjoy life, but I'm a workaholic. I always work.
Really?
Work. Yeah, I get to work at 3 o'clock every morning before everybody.
Waking up with Jesus. Crack dawn.
Right.
Oh man. Well, in closing,
Right.
I want to ask you this. I want to get your advice.
Okay.
A lot of people, and me included, we mentally defeat ourselves before we question our ability to excel when we're branching out into a new career or business venture. And I know that for me personally, I've been working on Through Our Lenses for 2 years. And a lot of that has been me battling myself internally. So my question to you is, what advice would you give to that person who is starting out and really need to just kind of get over that hump to get started?
Start. That's the easiest
Just that
advice
simple?
I can give you. Start, because a lot of people, they put it off. They put it off a year, a day, 2 minutes. Start. Because once you start, it's easy.
Yeah.
Start. Show up every day and do it. Just do it. You gotta do it. Like Nike says it. You know, like I said, whether it's going into this career or that career, if you show up, that's part of the battle. That's the hardest part of the battle, showing up.
Yeah.
So you just gotta show up in what you do.
Has there ever been a time where you've doubted your ability?
You know what?
Be honest.
Unfortunately, I never have. You know why? Because I had a mama that truly had me believing. Have I failed? Yes.
Yeah.
But have I thought I could do anything in the world? Yes. To this day, I still think I can do anything. But it was because as a kid growing up, my mama would be like, James, you can do it. I was like, Mom, can I fly?
Yeah.
James. She might look funny at me behind my back, but she was telling me, yeah, James. I had a guitar, and she was like, Jay. I was like, Mom, can I go play the guitar? And she was like, yeah, you can play the guitar. So I had lessons for a month. And she was the type of person that she didn't tell you couldn't do it, but she would give you the opportunity to quit or move on to the next.
Yeah.
Jay, hey, you're not getting that well, son. You want to move on to the next thing?
Yeah.
Without
feelings. Yeah, without mentally defeating yourself. I think sometimes when you mentally defeat yourself, you shut down.
Right. And you need those people in your life that are going to encourage your dreams.
Yeah.
We all need them. Whether they're friends, parents, girlfriends, boyfriends. We just need people in our lives that are gonna encourage us to live the best life that we can. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, we get these friends who don't say anything at all. Either they don't care or they really don't believe in us. You gotta have people that believe in you and your dreams.
No, that is very true. I will say, like, when there are days where you don't feel like you're doing good, it's that friend, that mom, that dad, right. They kind of like, look, it's okay, you got this. Because sometimes we do get caught up in our own head, and so just having somebody to kind of give you that extra oomph or that reminder, like, that it's all right, you got it.
Right.
It kind of helps you restart, refresh.
You got to start it off fresh every day. I mean, every day I start my day, and the first thing I do is I listen to something positive, because I want to be in a positive mood. And I start the same day, every day, just listening. I got to listen to something very positive. I don't listen to any music, but I want to get my mind right.
You don't listen to music and you work at a radio station?
I don't. I don't, especially in the morning, because I'm trying to get myself ready for the day.
Okay, yeah.
I listen to motivation. Les Brown is my favorite, so I'm listening to Les Brown. You can do it. You can conquer this. You can conquer that. And
So
that's
you
how
like
I
to do
prepare.
the morning devotion. That's part like your morning devotion, I guess you can say.
Right, because I think those words you start out with are the words you hear in the afternoon. If
Yeah.
you start by acting tired in the morning, you're going to drag through the first couple of hours. Me, what is most important is the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Because how you start off your day is usually how you end it. So I like to have high energy
Yeah.
in the morning.
No, I think that's actually really good. Good stuff. All right. Well, J-Mac, I want to say thank you for being here with me. I know you got a busy schedule, but I want to say I appreciate you for sharing your story with us, giving that good advice. So before we close out, tell the people where they can find you, and we'll go from there.
Good morning, H-Town 97.9 The Box. You can also hit me on JMac Worldwide on Instagram, JMac Global Facebook, and that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
The most interesting man on the radio.
Yes, definitely that. And I want to say it's been an honor to be on. Is this your third show?
No, this is my fifth show. I have more, but this is my fifth one that I'll launch.
On your fifth show, when you get the big check, when you're on the big show, just remember me.
I will.
Remember the little guy.
Talk about the living legend here, calling himself a little guy. I want to be like you. When I grow up.
I want to be like you. And that's what friends are supposed to do, inspire each other.
Yeah. Well, you inspire me, so I'm very appreciative.
All right, let me go to my 20 other jobs.
Thank you.